What's up, guys? So I've had a lot of people hit us up about just Pixley post ADCC, so we want to ask him some questions. Yeah, but well, first, like, talk about the ADCC. How was that like experience for you? And
it was awesome, man. I'd say it was the Mary Galley match was probably one of the coolest things that's ever happened in my career. I'd say it was pretty badass.
Up until the finish with Mary Galley, what do you think about the match up to that point?
I felt pretty confident. After I threw him the first time, I didn't really care what happened after that because I boomed his ass. So after that, it was all just like, it's like everything just kept going right. You know, I felt him starting to get frustrated. Then I baited him to wrestle up, and he came to his feet. I let him hold on the leg for 3 seconds. That way it was neutral. Even if I didn't throw him or he got back up, you know, it would be a negative if he sat back down. So I felt like my game plan was working.
Obviously Nicholas is extremely dangerous. So when you threw him the first time, which is like, I don't know, it's, so the match is considered one of the biggest upsets in ADCC history, obviously with Nicholas. Nicholas is Nicholas, he's incredible. When you threw him the first time, did you purposely not come down on top of him, or did you just throw him?
I just wanted to boom him as hard as I could, honestly. That way, if he fucked me up for some reason, like later on in the match, I could just still have the highlight reel. So
you were thinking ahead.
I was thinking 3 steps ahead. Just sent it probably as hard as I've ever sent it before.
So everybody always says afterwards, like, hey, I thought I was going to win. I knew I was going to win. But what were the, like, obviously you're going to have, everyone has a little bit of doubts, especially when they're going against the best guys. What were you worried about? Like, where did you not want to be?
I didn't want to be in closed guard.
That would suck, right?
And I didn't want to be on bottom. So I was just thinking pass, pass, pass. When I knee cut him, I was kind of shook that it had happened that easy. So
it seemed like that was our plan. Yeah. Everything went as planned perfectly. So literally every single thing that we planned in the match, everything that happened was pre-planned, entire thing. I think that we were probably the only people in the world that weren't surprised when you passed him. I think you were a little bit surprised. You could have stuck in.
I was a little surprised. Like, that was too easy almost.
He was definitely surprised. So the big thing on the internet is obviously, that he hurt his shoulder, and that he was tapping before, and I don't know, just I want the world to know like the truth about that and how you feel about it.
I had no clue that he hurt his shoulder. Honestly, before that, he kicked me in the nuts, probably harder than I've ever been kicked in my nuts before, but, you know, it's ADCC, baby, so I just ate it and just kept going, so, I mean.
You kind of made a wild noise when he kicked your wiener.
It's all good, though. We just kind of played it off like it didn't happen and kept going.
Yeah, we were celebrating, and we still didn't even know. Like, people kind of got upset because you went over to shake his hand, which we said, he's hurt or whatever, so we know it wasn't personal. He's a good guy. He's always super cool to us. The whole team is super cool to us. So
he was cool before the match too. He shook my hand before the match.
Yeah, so we weren't tripping on that. So before that though, one thing that no one's really talked about is the match leading up to Nicholas. Vinicius Ferreira, like he actually has, I believe, more world titles than Marigelli does at black belt. He has 4 at least, and he was a silver medalist in the ADCC. So you beat 2 silver ADCC medalists back to back. Every single person that you went against was a black belt world champion, for a veteran black belt world champion, every single one of them. So it was like, I think when we looked, the 4 matches that you would have had all together, there were like 20 adult black belt world championships in that. So that was what
I got 2 blue belt world titles.
So with Vinicius though, talk about that match a little bit too, because he's pretty incredible. You know what I mean? I felt like that was kind of overlooked.
Yeah, I mean, he had beat Paul Ardilla. Literally, as soon as I walked out to the stage, they said who I had. I didn't know who it was, and then I walked next to Paul Ardilla, and he looked at me and said, "That's the guy that's beat me the past 2 ADCCs first round."
Yeah, he's incredible.
So I was like already thinking, okay, this dude's gonna be legit. And I watched their match the 2 years prior, leading up to it. So
he's pretty good at everything.
He's really solid, man. He was like going against people that are like kind of short and stocky are terrible matchups for me. I'd say like at least with wrestling, not so much with grappling, but back when I wrestled, I would have trouble with the short, stockier people.
We're not going to take any matches against short, stocky guys now. No,
that's why I said it not with grappling.
No, so we had those two guys first, and that was because you finished him. You finished Vinicius. Now, so obviously I know who he is, and like you know, and it didn't get you too worried about it. But that was a huge win. So like that match, I would say out of everyone in the ADCC, you probably had by far the hardest go. The guys that you went against, Vinicius, Marigelli, Lovato, Cyborg, all these guys are like extremely seasoned. After day one, though, you were kind of like on, I mean, not that it didn't matter.
Like an adrenaline dump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing else really mattered so much after that. But
so Lovato, we lost a decision match on that. It was really, really close match. Could have went either way. But no surprise, it was close enough to where we felt like we should have pulled the trigger a little bit more. Yeah. But obviously being your first time, being a rookie, and being a purple belt, you know, no matter how much you're seasoned at wrestling,
it's a different game.
It is. It's still a different game. The rules are different. So I think you were definitely the MVP rookie standout for the ADCC. But after the ADCC, what's it been like? First, tell everybody what it's been like from the Brazilian community. It's like after, which we were really surprised about, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're showing mad love. They Pixley for president. I probably had half of the country message me after that match telling me good job and thank you.
They were thanking you.
They were thanking me.
Yeah, so no, it was cool, man, for that. And then, so what about for you, like personally after ADCC? What is it changed anything?
No, not at all.
Just your following.
Just my followers, yeah. Nothing else has changed.
You immediately got an offer.
Yep.
So not from who's number one, but from a different organization. Tell us what's up with that.
UFC Fight Pass offered me a couple of matches actually, but the first one that's locked in is October 10th, and it's against some guy from South Africa, Johan something.
So October 10th, UFC Fight Pass, and then that's the plan. Then just do that, and then no-gi pans, no-gi worlds.
No-gi pans, no-gi worlds, and then hopefully another one in December.
Yeah, so with the UFC Fight Pass, there's a lot of big stuff going on. We know that you did training camps for the fellow in Ohio.
Stipe Miocic.
Stipe, and then you did another one with Paulo
Costa.
So I think that kind of got you on the guys' radar. Those guys were talking about you. They had made several comments on the UFC embedded thing about that you were Ferrari and a bunch of crazy stuff like that. But so there's kind of a big surprise. So you talked the October match will lead up if you're able to win that match. Are you able to say who the possibility of the second match could be with?
I don't think that I can say it out loud yet because it's not on contract yet, but it's a big match. It's a big match, and it's going to be a good way to end the year for sure.
No doubt. So, all right, so Michael Pixley here, 2 big wins at the ADCC. Yeah, not that we wanted to clear anything up, but just wanted to hear it from you guys. You know, our team's cool with everybody. We show up, get it in. Wish Nicholas obviously the best in healing up, and you know the guy's the champ. He'll be back and killing everybody and right back where he was. I'm sure immediately. His team, you know, and the people he has surrounding him. So we wish him a speedy recovery. But you know, Michael's the man and making moves. So yeah, look out, world. This is Michael Pixley coming.